Hello, this is Paul, and I am with the First Church of the Brethren. We have a series of 12 lessons to teach new people on the computer the basics of how to use their computer with no experience to start. I do have quite a few people that come that has experience to brush up on their skills and also to learn with new skills. And today we're talking about the internet. And the internet over the past 6 months from the recording of this has been that there was many changes made on the browsers. And this is very relevant to all of the search engines, including Internet Explorer, also Firefox, Chrome. They're all changing, and it is necessary to be updated on what their new capabilities are. And this is going to be about Internet Explorer number 11, and be able to understand how to use that program. I take notice that when people come into the classroom, very often they'll sit down with the computers we have there, go on the web, and be able to say, hey, I got it open, now what? And they sit there and just gawk at it, waiting for something mysteriously to happen. Well, this is about Internet Explorer version 11. And it works with Windows 7 on up to Windows 8, and also I'm sure that it's going to be very adaptable, if not an upgrade, for Windows 10 when it is released later on in 2015. Well, first of all, with Internet Explorer, we're going to open the program and see what the home page looks like. And at present, this thing is with the home page of MSN, and MSN has letters is for Microsoft Network. It is a page that has a news feed on it. It also has certain things that you can use for your own personal email. In this case, email is completely free with Microsoft, msn.com, and be able to send and receive anything you want. We have another lesson on how to handle email, how to make attachments, be able to send movies, how to send pictures that you have taken with your camera, and be able to receive such, and how to open them. But that's another class. When I first started teaching, the internet was all in one subject, everything wrapped together, but now it's broken up to 3 sessions now. I have this one about how to operate Windows Explorer version 11. Also, I've worked with Internet Explorer version 9, which is adaptable on older computers, which are known to be Windows XP. And Windows XP is still very popular across the United States. With this in mind, we're talking about the newer technology, working with what is called a 64-bit machine, and be able to have much smoother operation than ever before. The goals of what has been taking place with the internet keeps on changing. It keeps on changing to the point that yes, there is a lot of new websites going up every day, and ones that outlive their use has been cut off, but there is a constant growth throughout the internet. On this home page, we have several things to take notice on it. And take notice that, first of all, I'd like to talk about that we do have this search bar will take anything of plain English. You can use letters, numbers, spaces, anything that is natural in how you type things in. And it will give you a result of many different listings. This is accomplished because these different search pages, search bars that are installed on your computer all has their own programs, and what they have in constant operation is something called a spider. And this spider is going out over the entire internet looking for different websites to be added to their database. And when websites are shut down, it's not necessarily removed from these databases, so there could be a chance that when you look at a result and try to bring them up, that it's no longer available. It's not. That's an area of these search bars, and Bing is along with them. Also, Google is another one that is very popular and is known to have much more results. If I put in a name, a word, a single word, for example, I'm looking for a wallpaper that might be interesting for me to use on my computer, I will get a result of maybe about 17 to 32 million different websites that carry wallpaper. And when you add any more definition to that search, you're going to be able to continue with more definition. It'll reduce down the number of findings immensely. For example, I put in maybe for the winter, and it'll reduce down to only 7 million websites. Now remember that each website represents maybe hundreds of different wallpapers. So there's a big selection to choose from, and you're sure to find something that you'll be very happy with. In fact, it is very common that people are on the search on a regular basis because they want change on their computer. They don't want it to be boring. Now, also, if you put in more definition of what you would want on wallpaper, you might even come down to only 100 or even a few. And it makes that definition much easier to select from. The more information you put into the search bar, the reducing of the number of findings will make your search much easier. One thing I do want you to realize now that this thing is also repeated on the top bar there. This is called a search bar. And as you go to different web pages, you will take notice that although they all don't have the search bar as part of their web page, that bar on the top will continue as you use Internet Explorer or any other search bar. They all feature this together. It is a very useful tool. But the next thing I want to go to here is what is called the address bar. This is how you get from one page to another. Updating this search bar, not search bar, I'm sorry, it is the address bar. There are how the browser is able to go from one page to another. Now, keep in mind, this is has different elements. You're going to see that these browsers are very flexible. In fact, what we're going to do is look at this as a flexible tool that you can open more than one thing, that not just websites alone. I'm going to get into that very shortly. The first element I want you to realize on here is HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and it is separated with a colon and a double /. Now, in programming, when we had my first computer, I had to learn a lot about DOS. DOS stands for Disk Operating System, and it is able to identify where files are stored on my computer. And with a colon and 2 backslashes, it would signify the root directory, and then I would identify everything with a single slash as I go from one layer to the next. These different layers are called directories and subdirectories. And the same thing is taking place on the internet. HTTP : / is the root of what the internet is addressing, and be able to move forward from there. After we have that all established, let's take a look at the next item here, www, World Wide Web. And this is commonly what we call the internet. This is the start of a typical address, but is not necessarily true. However, the root directory of the web with www is separated with a period. And this is a basic thing. However, there might be other things that come up there. It's worth to mention that if you see a wwws, means that it is a secure connection, that you're going to be able to be assured that everything you see on there is intended for you alone. Next, I look at MSN on here. MSN is the name of the web page. If you're into developing web pages, it's an advantage to have the name of your web page as simple as possible. Yes, you can use a lengthy name, but that means there must be a lot more typed into the this line here, which is called the address bar. And this name, MSN, is very simple, just 3 letters with a period. After that comes COM. Now, COM has been established from a very early time, that it was often referred to as command, but it's a 3-letter extension. After the name of a web page is an extension. And on this one, it's COM. And also, if you go on to something with the state or federal government, you're going to see GOV. Also, if you go on some educational places, you'll see EDU. There's many different extensions. Many churches and different sororities or whatever might be a name, an extension that is appropriate for them. I see on TV that there is even one that is called TV, and the list keeps on growing. In fact, in the past 6 months, there has been like 6 new extensions authorized. This is separated by a /. It's the end of the name of the website, and is further identified after a /. Next, EN-US with a question mark identifies what language is set up on this web page. In other words, Microsoft is dealing with many different languages. Another one might be EN-UK for the United Kingdom, and other languages around the world as well. It is separated with a question mark, which means it's going to be further identified, and that is with a command code that is written by the developer. And in that there is certain definitions along with it to expand on that command. This is not a basic command that is made by Internet Explorer or any other web browser. It is created by the developer himself. Over here is an ampersand. It means that there's further conditions on this command line. And if you were to go to YouTube, you might even see that there is a definition being used for a number of the movie that is stored with YouTube, and be able to see how it is related to and be able to play on your computer. So this command line has quite a bit of information on there that is necessary, and the easiest way to go back to them is to make a storage of this command line that it can be returned to very quickly. What is new on this search bar is a spyglass. In other words, this bar is also used for another way of searching things. And I have a friend that has always been using the address bar as a search engine, and she put in all kinds of words along with spaces, and she got a result of things that she was looking for. However, that was not the formal way of doing things, but it was working, so I never corrected her. When you put in an address line that goes to a website, there is no spaces. If you look at this address bar here, you see that there is no spaces. If they want a space, there might be a dash put in there for a space, or even an underscore, or some kind of a notation to make that space, but it must not have a space all to its own. So this is something that is necessary to realize. I've seen people put in spaces and wonder why they didn't get to the pages they expected, and that is possibly why. So looking at how people have been using the address bar for a search engine, they put in the spyglass there to be able to click on it with the left button of your mouse and activate that search. Next, I'd like to relate to how flexible this is, that I put in some random numbers as a calculation. This is entirely new. I put in random numbers such as 295 times 42, and when you put in a calculation, you need to realize the rules of how to work with a spreadsheet. This is where this is an entirely different course that I give, but basically multiplication and additions and subtractions, and how you put in this formula, that's called a formula now, is how it's going to work. Order is very important. When you press the enter key, you're going to be able to see that this is replicated, or you can use the left button on this arrow here and realize that it is replicated in the search engine. So that means that it can be typed in either box. It doesn't matter. So this is also relating to the Bing search bar, and it could be Google or anything else, but that was automatically put in because it is called a default search. and that default can be changed anytime you want. The answer comes up with 12390. You can see your equation up there that the star is translated to times, and you can see that answer. This is a scientific calculator, and you can use this as much as you want. You don't have to use the search bar anymore, but use that calculator as you naturally would do with any other calculator. Now, over here is a drop-down arrow, and when you use the left button of your mouse on there, you'll see a list of places that you've been to. However, when you start typing in an address, the list will also drop down with the starting of those letters, and when your result comes up, you can use the left button of your mouse on any one of them. It'll complete the address for you. Press enter or press the appropriate arrow that is up there to be able to get to where you want to go to on the web very easily. I would like to direct your attention to 192.168.0.1. This is an IP address that was entered into my browser, and by incident this is where my modem was activated with its utilities to set it up its what it's supposed to do, and turn certain functions on or off or whatever it may be. Let's be real. When we go through the web, everything is translated into Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is not the same as the words that you type in. It is special code, and everything that is connected has an IP address. Yes, when you have a printer on your computer, both your computer and the printer has two different IP addresses, and they're able to communicate with each other that way. The same thing takes place with web pages that you want to reach. They actually have an IP address that you are able to make use of and have that connection. So take note that IP addresses are used all the time in the background, and sometimes you have to use them on the foreground to get the needs that you're looking for. There are times that you will be talking to technical support about your account, either with MSN or any other. It might be your bank account or whatever. What is taking place when you go on a typical page, it saves what is called a cookie. A cookie is how the page looks and everything, so that when you return to that page, the cookie will be activated and bring it up much quicker than what your browsing experience on the web is. Thus, your computer is able to work much faster. If information is changed, all you have to do is press this button over here with a circular arrow and be able to refresh the page. It'll rewrite that cookie with the latest information. And there was an occasion where I downloaded to watch a video on YouTube. It didn't download too well. There was and it wasn't exactly clear on my computer. So I did the refresh button, and it reloaded, and it was 100% clear. Very often when you use this refresh button and you have a problem with your connection, this refresh button will solve many problems. Be aware of that. Now over here is a box that will open additional tabs. I haven't mentioned anything about tabs right now. As I opened Internet Explorer, it opened one tab, and there is only one item to view, but different tabs will open different websites, and you just have to tab around to go to one site to another that is actually in full view just by clicking on it. You don't have to reload or do anything else. In fact, if I had something down from YouTube and I had some music playing, opening another tab, that music would still be playing. So they interact. And this is done with only one opening, a single opening of Internet Explorer. You don't have to open the program many times over. And you can have as many tabs as necessary. I have gone up to a dozen different tabs open because I do this while I'm in study of different things that I'm interested in, and I have not exhausted the limit yet. So it's very flexible. Also, when you have different tabs open, there is the capability on each tab that when you activate it, there is an X there that you can close a tab without closing Internet Explorer. So it's very flexible as well. Over here is a toolbar. In this case, I have a toolbar for my virus check, and it is a paid account, so it's checking everything that is taking place on this in the browser and guarding me from any possible infections that are coming down for whatever reason it might be. It has its own toolbar. The second one down here is sponsored by Microsoft, and so we know that it is safe because it's built into the program. Internet Explorer is installed with your operating system with Windows. It supplies the capability for you to get on the web to begin with, and from there you can download any other browsers of your interest. However, on this toolbar, it gives you a list of other connections that you can go to. For example, this one is about Amazon, eBay, and Wild Tangent, and might be any other list up there. And these toolbars can be turned off. When you download programs, be aware that you might be downloading something that you don't want. For example, extra toolbars that is going to bring up a lot of pop-up windows and advertising and everything that you not necessarily want. But when you say approve it, then you're giving them permission to install these toolbars up here. And if you read the conditions or the license agreement way down, usually at the bottom, it'll tell you that they're collecting information on what you're doing with your computer and making reports for their sponsors. And that is called spyware. So spyware in many cases are approved by you without knowing what it is. So be careful on that. When you're downloading a program from the internet, only approve what you want. Take time to read the license agreement, and you will not be surprised. Remember that when you add on toolbars as well, you're going to fill up your browsing window with toolbars, and your viewing will be less on a single screen. And you can turn many of these off and be able to see more content of what you're looking for. So be aware of that. Take notice that to the left of my Viper there is an X there to be able to close it down. So without deactivating it, just because you shut down a visual of a bar doesn't mean that it's uninstalled. It physically needs to be uninstalled if you need to get rid of something you don't want. Over here on the right side of the browser now we have a list of tools for our different tools and be able to use different menus. That's what I'm thinking of. Menus. So to begin with this, I want you to realize that over here on the far right is a circular question mark, and it has been adopted as a standard identity where you can get a level of help. And the most complete range of help is found on the internet. You can have other programs in there, and if you tap onto this icon with the question mark, you'll get a limited amount of help, but when you're connected to the internet, you'll get a complete help and have a complete manual how to use any program that you use on the computer. Very useful, and the question mark is a standard. Over here we have an icon of a house, and you can realize this to be known as your home page. We're going to be getting into how to set your home page. At this point of the program that we just opened, Internet Explorer version 11 by itself, it goes to MSN, and that is identified as a home page, but that can be changed as often as you like. Also, if you have more than one tab open and you're in the habit of going through this procedure when you start up the web, you can have as many tabs as necessary and be able to set all of them as a home page. And when you turn on start up Internet Explorer, you're going to have this taken place every time you start it, and that means it's going to save you some time. Pretty good, huh? Now we have a news feed. You're able to initialize different news feeds as you desire. I personally don't use too many of them, but there is some of them that is turned on automatically, and they might be for a variety of sources of different interests, so it's something that you can check out on your own. If you have a printer connected to your computer, you're able to send this information of whatever page you're on to your computer and have it printed out. Now, for people that are only working with one monitor, you might want to print out some of these so that when you go to other sites or do other work on your computer, you have the relevance sitting right in front of you. Or you'll have a hard copy. What is called a hard copy is the printed page. You'll have a hard copy of being able to share with other people. When you print them out like this, it'll also be including the web address across the border of the top of the page on each page that is printed out, and you'll have a printed record. The next thing I want to point out is email. This works with Windows Live or Outlook Express or any other email program that you can download to handle your email automatically. These programs, I have them set up in as a special lesson by itself. It is lesson number 12 at the church, and learn how to be able to send and receive information automatically. These make use of what is called a POP server. I've been talking about HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and this is a secondary service. POP stands for Post Office Protocol, and What happens is when you're on the web, HTTP is in operation, but when your computer shut off, the POP is running 24/7. In other words, somebody sends you an email, it is received and sits there waiting for you for the next time you log on. Well, with the activation of Windows Live or Outlook Express or whatever, you turn on your computer and you open these programs and it'll download your email automatically. While they're open on a time schedule, it'll do this for you in the background. You can have more than one account, and that means that you can have any number, and when it's downloading your email on a regular basis like that, you'll never lose your account by reason of inactivity. Many free email addresses also has an option to be able to pay for it. They don't ask for too much money on a yearly basis, but the advantage of gaining a POP server and having your email downloaded is a definite advantage. Over here is a Page. Page, when you put the mouse on there and use the left button of your mouse, it'll open a window like this. On there is different listings of tools to be able to use. One of them is to send this page that you're viewing by email, or to simply send a link in the body of the email so that the person that receives it only has to click on it and goes to that exact page with their computer. Save as will often save a link to this page so that you can return to it very easily. I go down the list here. Zoom 100%. If you increase it, there's an arrowhead to the right of it. It means that there is a selections that you can make it larger or smaller. If the percentage is higher, the content of the page will be a smaller section. If you make it smaller, you'll be able to see more of it. Text size will increase the size of the text without increasing the size of the pictures or photographs. It only increased the basic text. On going down, properties will be covered in a very short time, since it's also covered in another menu. View source on the bottom. If you're into code or you want to study code, you can see exactly how it was written. So the next thing I'd like to show you is when you left click on safety, take notice that delete browsing history is on the top of the list. One of the biggest fears of being on the net is for people breaking into your computer and seeing what you're doing. In reality, I don't know of anybody doing that. I have no reports on it. However, when you do have installed toolbars on there, they might be evaluating what you're doing and making reports that you don't know about. And deleting browsing history will not change it. However, it does take up room on your computer. It might slow it down, and if you want to increase speed, you can always delete the browsing history. But I'm going to show you some advantages of it and how you can use it. History is for your use, your convenience, and have a better way of finding things on the web. So we're going to cover that very shortly. Over here is tools. Left click on tools on the top. We'll open this list here. And yes, you can reopen last browsing session. And the pop-up blocker is an important item here. Basically, you should have pop-up blocker turned on. There are some sites that will enable you to have the need of the pop-up blocker. For example, when we go to colleges online or whatever, they might use pop-ups to complete the course. And in that case, you're going to have to turn the pop-up blocker off. There might be other reasons to turn it off as well to get a complete experience as intended. But don't forget to turn it back on. View downloads. This view downloads has been covered much better now. It is more like the experience I've had with Firefox. When I press a button on that one, I will get this additional screen come up. And when you have a selection of different tabs open that you go to all the time, instead of having to type them all in, you can press this single button here, use current, and it'll record exactly what you have opened at that time, so that when you restart Internet Explorer, you'll be able to go to these pages just by opening the program. It will save a lot of time, and time is important. Amen? Over here, view downloads is the thing I'm talking about here, the downloaded programs. And you press on that, it will bring up a window like this that it will list the current downloads that you made for the day. It is not going to show you everything. However, if you right click on here, you see an option to go to that listing on where they are saved on your computer, and you can run things or delete things from it as you wish. However, when it comes up on a window like this, you have a choice of running any program you want to run singly. You don't have to run things right away, but do it at a much more convenient time, and be able to operate this way. It is very easy to read and understand. There's only one button there. It says run, and it will run that specific program without running all of them. So this is viewed through a right button, right icon up there. It looks like a cogwheel, and it opens this up to be able to see your downloads and be able to handle it at your leisure. Everything doesn't have to take place when it wants to operate. It is your computer, and you have things run when you want it to operate. You are in control. Well, now we're going to be talking about a menu bar in particular, and that is where it's been traditionally seen on all programs, but it's missing now. It is not being viewed in Internet Explorer. However, it can be returned, and what you do is you go to the top bar there where it's an unused space, and right click in that unused space, which it will bring up a menu. Every time you use the right click of your button of the mouse, it'll always bring up a menu. Please remember that. And you get this menu. Take notice there are 4 check marks there. They are called check boxes. Check boxes can be turned on and off. All of them can be turned on, or all of them can be turned off. There is no requirement of any of them for the program to operate, but you have a lot more utilities and seeing what's happening when you have them turned on. And one thing might be a good idea is to turn on a checkbox where it says menu bar on the top, and be able to press, once you press the left button on menu bar, the word menu bar, it'll turn on a checkbox. And here we have the traditional menu bar as before. When you do this, then you have the full capabilities of what Internet Explorer is able to be operated like. And so there are definite advantages on that. Now let me talk to you about history. I saved this for a definite item to talk about. History is a tool for you. And what happens with that is we have a button for tool for the history, and it is identified as a star. This is universal with all different browsers as well. This star will bring up the history of what you've been doing with your computer. A left click on it will show you a window that initializes with favorites, but we're interested in history. A left click on the word history on that tab there will open another window, change the window to the succession of dates that you are looking for. This means that if you've been to a website earlier today, yesterday, last week, whatever the case may be, and it's been used over an extended period of time, it might even go into months, and be able to find the address of the website that you've been to, and be able to left click on it and be able to activate that window once more. And it's a way of searching what you've been doing in the past. It is your tool. Nobody else has it. It is unique to your own experience. To use this, I left click on today. Take notice that it is highlighted. Today, I used a mouse with a left click on it, and it'll give you a drop down list of your activity as of today. And there I can see that I've been to 3 places with this action today, and it'll grow as I do more things on the web and reflect what my where I've been. If I look for things particular, I can always do a search this way and see where I've been to be able to do this. Getting a little wordy, aren't I? Take notice there's a bar on the top of it. It's called View by Date, and that's where all these dates will be correlated together with the drop-down selection and seeing exactly what you did at that time period. But take notice, you can view it by sites, or you can view it by most visited. And one thing I didn't have any time to do is to see how search history works. And that is a new capability that has come up. And one thing about change, it'll always take place. Change will continue. And search history should be a very good tool to find a site that you once visited and you want to return. Well, this is a breakdown, a very quick breakdown for Windows Internet Explorer. I thank you for your time. I hope it has been helpful. I've seen people come in, they open up this program, they sit there and don't know what to do. I hope you have a better idea of what to do now and be able to search for things that you are interested in. And above all, I hope that your internet experience becomes a pleasant one, a fearless one, And in other sessions, I talk about the security of your passwords. What is a good password? And also be able to have a good feeling about the many resources that are made to us. This is Paul Jones. And if you're in the Harrisburg area, please stop by on Wednesday or Thursday. I have my classes at 10 o'clock in the morning and also 1:30 in the afternoon. And on Thursday, we have somebody else that comes in and teaches at 7 o'clock. So there is a time period when we are there to be able to help you and further your understanding for whatever the subject might be. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you as possible.